Today's one of those funky spring days where I put my coat on, I'm too hot. I take my coat off, I'm too cold. Welcome to Maine in the spring. What we're doing right now is we're just gonna finish up some fencing, and unbeknownst to me, I screwed up. I meant to get 3/8 wire rope and I bought 1/4 inch. So I have to make it work, but I'll show you here. Oh yeah, I'm using my 3/8 for a stand. So 3/8. Here's the 3/8 poly rope, 1/4 inch poly rope, and then this is poly wire. See the difference? And so this zebra stripe is the most visible for animals, and this is thick, and I'm running this along stone walls in the woods anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And this right here, I'm tearing out and getting rid of it. So with these gates for poly rope, as you can see, it's just like the rope connector. So you take these nuts off right here, the latch, and then you're gonna want to put some tension on it because it does have a spring. So you take this off, figure out about how much we need, and then tighten it up a little bit so that you're putting tension on it. You want the spring to activate so that you've got continuing tension on your gate, and then put the nuts on. My intention was to get all this fencing done before black fly season hit, and I did not meet that goal. I was successful last year because everybody was home with the pandemic and I had all the kids home. Not the case this year, so I'm flying solo, just trying to get everything done alone, and I'm really failing, I guess, but it's okay because the grass still isn't sufficient enough that I want to put the animals out. It's you know, it's 6 inches in some places, but a lot of places it's really hasn't grown yet. And what the cattle and sheep will do is they'll just rip it out of the ground, overgraze it, dig it up, and then I won't have grass all year. So this gate got the tension on it, keeps tension on the fence. Everything looks good here. So these are your insulators for T-posts right here, and the best way to put these on is I count up about 10 from the bottom for these calves. Now this right here, you can pull it and try to, you know, make that snap on the back, but I've also broken this off. So the easiest way to get around that is just take your jackknife and then it pops right on, just like that. You don't want to pull on that. And so it just snaps right on really easily. And then just like that, you're hooked. And just like that, you're hooked. Okay, so what I've noticed, it's great because this fits on there perfectly. It fits right on that. So I've got a great electrical connection here. And then all I need to do is put this on. Now everything is electrically connected. And so once I get these nuts on, just pull this back enough so they don't have a huge pigtail on there. Just like that. And this will work perfectly. You know, the funny thing about this old farm is I just keep finding old stuff, and this right here is part of the trolley of a barn door. You can see how rusted up it is. This right here is the part that went on the door itself, and then this ran along the trolley. I don't know where it came from, it just materialized. That happens all the time here. And so I put quite a bit of effort into making my fences be electrically correct, and I did electronics in the military, so kind of anal about how things are and how they're connected. They make just about everything you could ever want as far as electric fences go, and I used to just cheat and do with whatever I had. I'm sure making do with what you got is always good, but as I've owned the farm longer and longer, I've been able to acquire more things to make my job simpler. And so this right here, you see this gate, it's a corner post that I've got, and these are for T-posts. It slides down over, you tighten up this little plastic thing here, there's a double eyelet through here. This goes over like that, and then you put this on, so the wire goes around like this. Then you put this flat part on, and so what you've got now is instead of just a tiny piece of the wire, you know, the poly rope touching, you've got a considerable amount doing it. Put these nuts on. This looks like I think it's 3/8. It might be 5/16, but and I just use my lineman pliers, tighten it up. Just like that, I've got a connection. And so it'll make the corner like this. This here is my jumper wire that comes from the top. It goes down to the bottom here, so we'll just connect this. And what this will do is this will make sure I have power to both strands, which there's multiple places where that happens anyway. But there's also a few places where I only ran one strand of electric wire, because that's all that's necessary. But in places where it opened up, I did find it necessary to put two. And looks like the kids are home. I see the bus. I'm at the end of the line up here, so it's a bus turnaround. Yesterday was my youngest son's 15th birthday. I don't know how they got old so fast, or how I got old so fast. So when you get to the gate, take this part off. Don't lose those nuts. Take that off, and then so you put the gate hook on first. Take that off, and then so you put the gate hook on first. And it's got a spring in it, so you'll figure out how much you need. As far as cows go, once they learn to respect an electric fence, it's all they need. They just won't go near it, at least in my experience. I'm sure that there's an exception, because there always is, but with the Jerseys I've had, if I put this wire on the ground, even not energized, they won't cross it. It just won't. So it's actually a lot less expensive to run a couple strands of electric than it is to run woven wire and everything else. But the sheep, if the sheep put their nose on this, they'll respect it. But a lot of times what happens is I've got this so the sheep can get their face under it, and then even the hair sheep, they're just insulated enough so they don't really feel it. So I'd have to have 2 or 3 strands for the sheep for them to really respect it. Like you can see this right here, they would pretty easily go underneath that. So it's hit or miss with the sheep whether or not they're going to respect this fence or not. So this is what I use for fencing. I've got my gator and my little 21 cubic foot trailer, which you can't buy anymore. John Deere no longer sells those. And I looked forever and ever, and finally I found one 2 years ago in New Hampshire, and I went down and got it. Oh, hello there. What are you doing up there? I know you're not laying an egg. I'm sure Jeff Bezos loves me because I get most of my fencing stuff through Amazon Prime. It's just, you know, you go on and click what you want, and then it shows up at your doorstep. That's all connected all the way around. I got the gates up, and so we've got woven wire down there on the left. We'll close the gates to the garden here. Let's go back and I'll show you the charger and how that's all working. Hooking them up. And this is just one of those cheap Zaribo ones I bought from Tractor Supply a number of years ago. It still works great. I know some people don't like them very much. It goes out to the line, which here it's clamped onto this one right here. Connects to the electric fence right here. And then this whole top is electrified. And I remember I had fixed this early this spring and put a wire on the top because the cows had trounced this wire down. For some reason I thought they needed to be over here, but I wanted them over here. And since I've done this, no more troubles. And so the funny thing about the weather app on my phone is it showed absolutely no rain for today, but it's raining. It is a little bit heavy with all these fence posts and welded wire in the back. Wait. 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 Yes. Well, I guess that's it for today. Chance is done. And I no more than put that away. Is the sun breaking through? We'll talk to you again next time. Thanks for watching.